Pressing play now. Oh, that's full screen. Oh! Click. Ah! Let's try that again, shall we? Hi friends, so we are about to dive into episode 4 of Your Lie in April. It is a day late, but again, crazy stuff happening this couple of weeks. Unfortunately, my schedule, as each week progresses, is going to get crazier and crazier, which I sincerely hate, but it just means that I better be on top of what I do. Anyway, we're about to dive into episode 4 titled Departure. So with Departure, Kusai and Kyori arrive just in time for the competition. However, without a chance to practice the piece, how will he be able to perform? So, we learned in the previous episode that Kusai has some sort of weird thing where he basically blocks out hearing his own playing, where he just has trouble. And of course, Kaori, being the fun blue sky that she is like, get over yourself. Like, you know, I'm gonna have you be my accompanist. It's gonna happen. Here it is. And he's like, what? Okay, fine. And then, of course, our two jocks grab them, and they are now on their way to the place. And unfortunately, they're about to perform without a chance to practice. Obviously, you know, in the practice rooms, you get a chance to go through your scales, you get a chance to go over your pieces, you know, remind yourself, like, okay, this is my sticking point, I've got to make sure I get this right, otherwise this is going to be really bad. And so, obviously, they've played together. I guess, Kaori must have, in that moment, done her own thing, which is why her accompanist was like, I'm out of here, because she changed the kind of how she was playing, odds are, at that moment. Or the accompanist was just used to the people playing the exact same way, knew the song, and then Kaori introduces her version, doesn't go well. So the odds are they're about to, you know, not improvise, they're playing a piece, but also he doesn't know what to expect from her. He doesn't know if she's going to play this piece as written, but basically he better know what he's doing, because if she goes out there and makes a fool of herself, she might make a fool of him, but he's always like, I'm going to make a fool of myself anyway, because of just, you know, so much stuff. So it shows obviously a mix of really fun, it's kind of sadness. Also, we got a taste of a moment that's like, odds are it's going to come back around for our dear blonde. We could assume maybe it's very similar to Kusai's situation when he was little, but I suspect it more has to do with her and not somebody else. Whatever. Anyway, without further ado, let's actually dive right in. Of course, a reminder, if you're following along via YouTube, there's going to be a countdown timer, and then, of course, there will be a edited version of the episode that's without sound playing on YouTube. If you want to see the full reaction, click the link below, and you can see the full reaction that way. And, of course, without further ado, let's dive right in. Alright. You know, he sees her. Oh, okay. Oh! So they already knew. I'm a little... Okay. They knew that he, was abused as a kid. Of course, being a child, he's protective of his mom still. Also interesting how we got to see that in black and white. Again, the world's in black and white for him. And of course we go from the black and white to just beautiful full color. This first half, this part A of the season's intro is so beautiful and bright. I love it so much. I'm curious to see what the B section of the episode intro will be like. Also, I feel like we're getting a lot of like mixed styles, but there's definitely a very beautiful watercolor aspect of the series. One of y'all shared the full version of the song. I have to go back and find your comment and listen to it because it's a bop. It's fun. I wonder if that moment when he's sweating and playing and just playing with her, I wonder if it's representing when they're gonna play. Because, you know, he says he can't hear us playing, but he can hear her playing. And so maybe he just needs to have fun. She wants him to have fun and love the music again because he is so talented. So, and she wants him, because she's so bubbly and full of life, she wants him to be full of life. So not necessarily like her, but just enjoy the talents he has. And of course, our jocks are here to save the day with their bicycling. From bicycles they stole. She's so confident in each other. A little bit of the previous episode, that town in color. There's bleeding again. The boy's bleeding! Fix his face! Look at the way he's like walking. That's not answering the question. She's being poetical. It's very cute. Ooh, it's not the soft music they're playing, but I like it. Thanks, Mom. Just look at him. How I bet that was a thing that his mom had him do when he was a kid. This animation style is perfect. She looks beautiful. I like how her hair's down. The focus, honey. It's fine because she looks a little bit like the other girl. But I'm saying her hair, he's so focused on himself again. She just headbutt him? They heard that. Good job, you dum-dum. Clever girl. But anyway, I was saying her hair's down, so she's relaxed. She's having fun. Versus the other girl who we saw with hair uptight and she was really, you know, tense. Shame ourselves like crazy. He's so love-struck. It's so cute. But she's so free and she's so relaxed. But she's like, look at me, look at me. Now you bizarre. There's this song called by a band called Fever Fever called Hypnotized. Listen to that. It's very similar to this relationship dynamic here. It's very cute. Freedom. Oh, the piano. Oh. I wonder if some people are starting to recognize him. I wonder if they do. Oh, no, the whisperings are starting. Synthetic and all natural. I'm guessing he means he's synthetic and she's all natural. Or... don't know who he's referring to. So it is a ritual thing. It's not about him, it's about her. Playing the song as is. Docile here. Ah, nope! Here she goes. Just keeping him on his toes. This is beautiful, though. The playing is just gorgeous. Yeah, you know it. Look at him. You know it's a good piece when like non-music people are just like that. Did you hear the breathing? I bet that was the violinist you could hear breathe. Crap. She disappeared. Get out of your head, guy! Oh my gosh, because I know! Crap. He's drowning. I'm stressed now. Come on, buddy. Listen, listen. Get out of your head. Now he's leading the charge. Gosh, the boy just goes into a panic. Honey! Save your pianist. Save your pianist. What is he doing? I know, my God. And in his stress, he's freaking out. She's still going, she's still playing well, but he's down, he's shut down. And people, of course, who don't recognize him think he's just some newbie, doesn't know what he's doing. She stopped playing. Did she break a string? Or she just stopped? Whoa, what happened there? Okay, well this is technically not the halfway point. Sorry, I paused at 14:01. So he goes into a panic, has a moment, sees his mom. Things are going great and they're having fun and it's really good, but they're having a moment. He sees his mom, goes into panic mode. I keep wanting to think maybe he just thinks about his mom not as great as she could be, but usually it's the other way around. Usually kids like look back and their parents aren't as good as they thought they were. I'm trying to see if this was the reverse, but clearly, no, he was abused as a kid. Of course, I think there's more layers and details to it which will come out. But things were going really well, and then things are going well. And it looks like the moment he begins to enjoy the music, maybe he feels guilty, like he shouldn't, because he's enjoying it without his mom. Maybe the moment he feels joy, his mom kind of swoops in and kind of sucks it out of him, even after her death. Or he lets her, really, because she's not around. So it's him doing it. It's him causing it. She's not causing it. She can't. She's dead. And now he's panicked and shut down. And I guess she decides, well, she said if we're going to burn together or fail or whatever. Or shame ourselves, really. We're going to shame together. So maybe she shuts down or she stops playing as a way of kind of honoring him, which is really blowing her chance as well. Because I guess there was still a chance for her to do really, really well and to continue on, because in the end, it's not really her fault for a accompanist sucks or is shutting down or messing up. She tried to work, but in the end, it's about the violinist, not about the pianist. Anyway, let's keep going. Again, sorry, I paused at 14:01, pressing play now. Nope, I guess I'm not. Pressing play now. There we go. She just stopped. She's making it about him. She dragged him into this for him, not for her. Though she does need him and she does want him. But she's bringing it, doing this for him. She's so nice and lovely. She's starting the piece over? She is! Get out of your head, boy. Come on. Oh, and she heard that. Oh, look at that! Look at that animation! And look at me. She's so clever. Swim, boy, swim! Oh, this is before her mom got sick. So something happened then with her when she was sick. Or again, maybe, again, we don't have the full story. We'll get the full story. Kind of love how Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is like all over the place. So many cultures. It's so cool and funny. There he is. The good that his mom left him. I think they're sweating more from stress than from the heat. And those lamps, actually those lights can be really hot. And stress. And if you're playing, well, you're playing with your whole body, so you're sweating. Don't start stealing my thunder. I know. It's like a brawl. He's having a good time with this. A little bit of breathing there. So good. No, he's a soloist. Oh, she sees something else there she might not like. I think she... Okay. She sees something there. That was cool. That was cool. But also, that was sad and interesting. You're like, April will be ending soon. Yeah, because they were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. When a performance ends, and if it's just that freaking good, you're gonna get the whole auditorium up on your feet. Oh, I love how all of the stage behind them's lit up. Everything looks dark out there. It's so cool. But you also can't... Oh my gosh. This animation! So beautiful. She slapped him again, didn't she? No, she collapsed. Crap. Did she collapse on stage? That's not good. If she's sick, I'm gonna be so mad. It's probably about her heart, because it's always about the freaking heart. Well, mainly because if the heart goes, everything else does. Gosh. This episode made me so stressed. There was one time, it was so embarrassing. It was in high school. We had to stop and restart a section because one of the piccolo players did not pay attention to her entrance and was still not paying attention and couldn't get back, and pretty much the moment she started late, everybody else started late, and it crumbled. So it was so embarrassing because this is in high school. Are you kidding me? We're starting a section in high school? Everybody was so mad at her. I mean, it wasn't entirely their fault, but the problem is that she kicked it off and we followed. It was such a pain in the butt. Also, there are a number of people who started with the conductor like they were supposed to, and not... Next episode's titled, 2 people on a bike is forbidden by law. That's so funny. Anyway, a lot of us were really mad because we were with the conductor, but she had just rushed, and then I think she was nervous, and then she rushed, or something like that. So many of us were so mad at her. Anyway, let's talk about this episode, shall we? You know what I love about this series is that the writing is so good that I get distracted from the gorgeousness and the beauty of the animation. It is absolutely breathtaking animation. The storyline is amazing. These characters feel so real. The personalities, the interactions, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And of course that would happen and that could happen. I love how in one episode we saw this dark gray version of the mom, but then we also saw this really lovely version of her where she was standing. So there is a chance that her being sick turned her into somebody cruel. There's also a chance that maybe he's doing what I said is that he's reverse. Again, our memories can be twisted and changed depending on how we viewed things. There are some things that, looking back when I was little in high school, I was like, oh gosh, like I looked at it on a very, with darker lenses. But then when I got into college, or more recently when I thought back about it, I looked back at it in a different lens. So it doesn't change the events or things that happen to me, but it does change how we look at them, how we learn from them. So there's obviously good things that his mother taught him. It is interesting to get that taste of the mom and him be frightened by the mom, drown, but also almost use what his mom taught him, as well as Kaori, to at least not drown. He was still underwater, he still couldn't hear himself, but he could hear her, and he knew the piece really well, which again reminds us of how just brilliant he is, pianist. He's a soloist, that he can just hear the music over and over and over again for a week, just see clips, smidgens of the music, and still be able to kind of survive. Her restarting the piece, again, was for his benefit, and a bit for hers too, because she wanted people to remember her. Remember for not collapsing, which obviously definitely happened. Next episode. But her playing, and sometimes there are moments, you hear pieces played really well, really beautifully, but sometimes there are moments between musicians that the playing is so tight, and not in a way as everybody's following the tempo, everybody's listening, is playing, but there's something magical that happens sometimes where they just, and this happened, they were fighting with each other, but they clicked, and it was so good that they kind of were enthralled, fell out of it when they did, and pulled back in again, which is very hard to do. Usually once you screw up the audience, you lost the audience. They're like, okay, whatever. You can still play an amazing show afterwards, and most people are just like, they still remember that, like, that thing. Or maybe it's the musician at me that, you know, audience will say like, yeah, there's this moment, but like, did you hear the end of that concert? It was amazing. And as a musician, all I can think about the fact that I had to restart a song because I started the wrong key. And we musicians are very temperamental creatures sometimes. And passionate, but temperamental. I really enjoyed this episode. It was crazily well written, beautifully animated. I still love that little animation trick where, even though we can see that his glasses do run across his eyes, there's nothing clear here, that when we look at him at the side, they literally cut that part of the glasses out. That is such a very appreciative animation choice. Obviously, probably based upon the manga. But the cool part is, it can be hard to read somebody's profile when you can't see their eyes, and someone's wearing glasses, that's difficult. But the cool thing is that you can, because there's so many side profile reads, you can read his eyes. Now, I had some notes from the last time. Quick question. Is the voice actor of Kusai the same voice actor for Izuku? Because there were moments where it's like, that sounded like Izuku. Tsubuki and Watery are such good friends. They're awesome. They're great. They are the jocks. I know Tsubuki had a moment which reminded me a little bit of Smallville Season 4. There's a moment where, like, Clark and Lois are laughing over something. They're not even talking. They're just kind of like collecting. And Chloe's like, heck, somebody else that Clark likes as a non-friend that doesn't, you know, because Chloe still had feelings for Clark at the time. So I think Tsubuki had a moment where she realizes that there's something there more than just them being good musicians. Kaori is so sweet, and she's so genuine, and she's so lovely. Those kind of individuals are wonderful. And they're wonderful to be around, and they're wonderful to enjoy. And they're not ignorant of the world. They're not stupid. They're not la 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 la. They are well aware of what's going on around them, but they don't let it poison their hearts. That phrase might come back to bite me in the butt, because again, I think she's sick, and her collapsing in the next episode, I think, confirms this. Also, there's some beautiful use of lighting in terms of the black and grays and the water pastel moments, and how sometimes the color sneaks in, but sometimes the color's like BAM! And so it's so interesting with the first episode being monotone, something else, color, something, I can't remember what it was. But what's interesting is that that's how that first episode, being about color. Oh, sorry. The beauty of the peach blossoms and everything. There is moments where the color just like smacks you in the face, but also it's very interestingly colored. Where, you know, from the audience, we look at them. Kaori and Kusai are in bright light. We can see them super clearly because we're in a dark audience. But that was so fascinating when we watched all, like, the audience from the very back, as if we were, it looks like as if we were sitting at the very back of the stage, sitting against the wall. That's what it looked like. That was the angle. And Kaori and Kusai are kind of darkened because we're in bright light. So anything slightly less, you know, with slightly less light on them looks darker. Whereas if out in the audience where it's dark, they look really bright. So I really enjoy the directing choices. And some of this might be in the anime or manga, some of it might not be, I'm not sure. But it's not just the color or the saturation or the angles, it's the whole freaking art style is gorgeous and pleasing to the point where you're so enthralled with the excellent writing and the animation is so excellent that it just bolsters the writing style that you don't even quite notice the style unless it's something really insane, like the fact that he was reflected in her eye, but it was also distorted. So really he's seeing his reflection in her eye. That's crazy. I love that. So I love this anime. Probably gonna be sad about it later, but I love this. I already know what I'm watching after this. Again, I think it's music based, I'm not sure, but it's very beautifully animated. My brother recommended it. I'll be watching it after this. It'll be the new Anime Thursday anime. And the main lead is also blonde. So, that might give you some clues. Again, it's also regarded as a very beautifully animated animation. And also, I decided that instead of waiting till the beginning of August, the next animation that'll take the place after One Punch Man will be announced during ReactorCon, which takes place from July 22nd to that Sunday, I believe. So, I'm getting a better idea now we get closer of what I want to do. And of course, the week before, it's not this week, is it? I gotta pay attention to these dates. What day is this? Holy mackerel! So next week is the week before ReactorCon. Guess who has to get her life together now? Me. Anyway, I know I have a vague idea what I do, but I just gotta sit down and kind of plan it all out, which I will do because I have a good idea. Again, I think it starts on Wednesday the 22nd and goes, I believe, to that Sunday, which is 26th. I am planning on doing, not a live react, but a live stream where we're just going to chat about pretty much what's happened that week for ReactorCon, all the different shows, what to expect for all the different animes. It would be really helpful if you all came with questions. That would be really helpful. And also what would be really helpful is actually if you have questions already, just put them in the comments section and I'll just save them for that later. And make it clear that, hey, here's a question I would love for you to answer for the live stream. Just be very clear that's what the question is for. Otherwise, if I read it, I might reply right then and there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Sorry this episode was late, but like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies, and I'll see you next time.